Hey, if you can't wait to hear about the most exciting young superstar in tennis, right now if you want to know the story of the youngest active player in the top 10, hey, if you can't wait to hear about the most exciting young superstar in tennis, right now if you want to know the story of the youngest active player in the top 10, if you're curious to learn about a trailblazer who is already making history but has many more chapters left to write, well then keep watching because this is the Coco Gauff story. It was June 29, 2019 when an American woman stepped onto the court for the first time at Wimbledon Station. It was only the beginning of what would become one of the most iconic days in the history of women's tennis. Not only because the most successful British player of all time was bidding farewell to the game after playing her last ever match, but also because the American stepping onto the court that day was just 15 years old. Her name was Coco Gauff, and she had already earned a reputation for being a prodigious talent since she picked up a tennis racket at age 7. She had even been named after the legendary Haitian actress and activist Coco Chanel by her parents, who were big fans of hers. And from the time she learned to walk, she was unstoppable. At age 8, she was already ranked No. 1 in the country for her age group. At 10, she was training at the New Generation Bowl Academy in Florida. At 13, she was competing in professional tournaments. And at 14, she was turning heads by winning matches against players nearly twice her age. But nobody could have predicted what happened next. When she faced off against Venus Williams in that opening round match, it was supposed to be a formality. Didn't matter who won. Everyone knew Venus would advance to the second round. But then something amazing happened. Coco won in straight sets, 6-4, 6-4. It was a performance that shocked the world and made everyone take notice. Not only did she display incredible shot-making abilities, but she also showed maturity, focus, and composure that belied her tender years. The crowd was on their feet roaring with every winner. And when the match was over, Venus walked over to Coco and told her she had a bright future ahead of her. Coco went on to win her next 2 matches before losing in the 4th round to eventual champion Simona Halep. But her performance at Wimbledon that year was just the tip of the iceberg. Over the next few years, she continued to climb the rankings and make a name for herself on the tour. She became known for her powerful serves, her aggressive ground strokes, and her relentless determination. She was also praised for her sportsmanship, her humility, and her grace under pressure. She seemed destined for greatness. But nobody could have predicted what happened next. In 2023, everything changed when she won her first WTA title at the Linz Open. Suddenly, the tennis world had to take notice. This kid was no longer a prodigy or a rising star. She was a force to be reckoned with. But still, no one could have predicted what happened next. In 2024, things took off. She started the year ranked number 7 in the world and reached her first Grand Slam quarterfinal at the Australian Open. Then she achieved a career-high ranking of No. 4, after reaching her first Premier 5 final at the Italian Open, where she lost to Elena Rybakina in 3 sets. But this loss only fueled her determination to succeed. She came back stronger than ever, winning the biggest title of her career at the 2024 French Open. In the final, she faced off against the world No. 2, Marina Sabalenka, who had won the previous 2 Grand Slam tournaments and was considered the favorite to win the title. But Coco wasn't intimidated. She played with heart, with passion, and with precision. In the end, she won in straight sets, 6-3, 6-2, becoming the youngest player to win a Grand Slam singles title since Maria Sharapova at the 2006 US Open. It was a performance that shocked the world and made everyone take notice. This kid was no longer a rising star or a force to be reckoned with. She was a champion. Now let's go back to 2023. Things were going well, but she still had some losses that bothered her, so she decided to do something about it. She hired Brad Gilbert as her coach, former top 10 player and coach to some of the best players in the world, including Andre Agassi. Together, they worked hard to improve her serve, to refine her technique, and to sharpen her mental game. They focused on every aspect of her performance, from fitness to nutrition to psychology, and the results were immediate. She started winning more matches and climbing the rankings. She also gained confidence and maturity and began to embrace her role as a leader on the tour. She was no longer the shy, introverted teenager. She was a force to be reckoned with. And when she entered the 2024 season, everyone knew she was ready to take over the world. Now, let's fast forward again to the 2024 French Open. Coco was the no for seed and had a tough draw, but she didn't care. She was playing with a freedom, a joy, and a power that had never seen before. She breezed through the early rounds, dropping only one set along the way. Then she faced her first real test, a fourth-round match against no. 20 seed Karolina Muchova. Coco won in 3 tight sets, but not before being pushed to the limit. It was a match that could have gone either way, but Coco's resilience and determination prevailed. Next up was the quarterfinals, where she faced no. 12 seed Jelena Ostapenko, a former French Open champion and a dangerous opponent. Coco won in straight sets, looking unstoppable. In the semifinals, she faced no. 3 seed Jessica Pegula, another formidable opponent and someone Coco had never beaten before. But Coco didn't show any signs of nerves or hesitation. She played with a confidence and a swagger that impressed everyone. She won in straight sets, reaching her first Grand Slam final. And then it was time for the final. Coco was facing the top seed in World No. 2, Irina Sabalenka, a 2-time Grand Slam champion and a dominant force on the tour. Coco was the underdog, but she didn't care. She was playing with a freedom, a joy, and a power that had never been seen before. Coco was unstoppable. She won in straight sets, shocking the world and cementing her place in history as the youngest Grand Slam champion since Maria Sharapova. But it wasn't just her athletic ability that made her so remarkable. It was also her mental toughness, her emotional growth, and her sense of purpose. Coco had faced many challenges in her life, but she had overcome them all with grace and dignity. She had dealt with injuries, with setbacks, and with expectations. She had balanced her tennis career with her studies and her personal life. And she had done it all with a smile on her face and a positive attitude. Coco was more than just a tennis player. She was a role model for young people everywhere. As Coco stood on the podium, holding the trophy aloft, she knew that she had accomplished something truly special. She had won the French Open, one of the most prestigious events in tennis history. But she also knew that she had inspired countless people with her journey. She had shown that anything is possible if you set your mind to it. She had proven that age is just a number and that hard work and dedication can pay off. The roar of the crowd was deafening as Coco Gauff's name was announced as the champion. She had just made history by winning the 2025 French Open and becoming the youngest Grand Slam singles champion since Maria Sharapova in 2006. Tears of joy streamed down Coco's face as she hugged her coach and her family. She couldn't believe what she had just accomplished. It was a dream come true. Coco's journey to the top of the tennis world had been nothing short of extraordinary. From the moment she stepped onto the court as a ball girl at age 8, she had shown a natural talent and passion for the game. By age 14, she was already ranked No. 1 in the United States in her age group, and had turned heads by winning matches against players nearly twice her age. In 2019, she made headlines by defeating Venus Williams at Wimbledon, a feat that no other teenager had accomplished in the Open era. Since then, she had become a force to be reckoned with on the tour, known for her powerful serves, aggressive ground strokes, and relentless determination. But Coco's success on the court was not just due to her physical prowess. It was also because of her mental toughness, her emotional growth, and her sense of purpose. Coco had faced many challenges in her life, but she had overcome them all with grace and dignity. She had dealt with injuries, with setbacks, and with expectations. She had balanced her tennis career with her studies and her personal life. And she had done it all with a smile on her face and a positive attitude. One of the most inspiring aspects of Coco's journey has been her commitment to activism and giving back. From attending the March for Our Lives rally in Washington, D.C., speaking out against racial injustice and gun violence, Coco has used her platform to raise awareness and make a difference. She is a true role model for young people everywhere, showing that it is possible to succeed in sports, academics, and activism. As Coco basked in the glory of her victory at the French Open, she knew that she had accomplished something truly special. She had won one of the most prestigious events in tennis history and become the youngest Grand Slam singles champion in nearly 2 decades. But she also knew that she had inspired countless people with her journey. She had shown that anything is possible if you set your mind to it. had proven that age is just a number and that hard work and dedication can pay off. The future was bright for Coco Gauff. She had already achieved more than most players ever dream of. But she knew that she was just getting started. With her talent, determination, and passion for the game, Coco was poised to become one of the greatest players in tennis history. As she looked out at the cheering crowd, Coco knew that she was not just a champion, but a trailblazer, a young woman who had dared to dream big and made it happen. She was a champion for all the underdogs, for all the dreamers, and for all the believers. She was Coco Gauff, and she was just getting started. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more updates.